Okay, let's just jump right into this deep dive because, seriously, this past week, May 31st to June 6th, 2025, it was just absolutely massive for AI funding.
Yeah, massive feels about right. The source material we're looking at, it actually calls it a mountain of cash. And honestly, looking at these numbers, that might even be putting it mildly.
Ultimately, the scale is kind of wild. So our mission today, it's pretty straightforward, but there's a lot to cover. We're going to unpack the top 20 AI funding rounds announced just in this one week. We'll look at the companies, the sometimes staggering money involved, and really the incredible ways they're applying AI, sometimes really unexpected ways.
Right. And think of this as like your shortcut. You get a clear snapshot of where the big money is flowing in AI right now. It really shows how AI is moving beyond theory. It's being applied everywhere in sectors you might not even immediately think of.
Exactly. It's definitely not just about chatbots anymore, is it? So let's start climbing this mountain. We'll kick off with the biggest newsmakers from the source list, working our way down the top 20, and right at the very top, with a number that honestly feels a bit sci-fi.
Neuralink.
Yeah, Neuralink. They grab the single largest round, like by a huge margin this week, $650 million.
Wow.
$650 million. Series E announced June 2nd, June 3rd, somewhere in there. I mean, that is a statement.
It absolutely is. And their focus is, well, it's fascinating, AI-driven brain-computer interfaces. They're literally trying to build a direct link, between the human brain and computers.
Which for years, that just sounded like pure science fiction, right? Straight out of a novel.
It really did. But the AI is kind of the key piece here. It's the software that has the incredibly hard job of interpreting those super complex, noisy signals from the brain, trying to decode the electrical language of thought. That takes some serious AI power for pattern recognition.
And the initial goal, it's really powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just like controlling video games with your mind yet. The focus is on helping people with profound challenges.
Yeah.
Paralysis, severe speech issues.
Right, giving them new avenues for communication, for interaction.
Yeah, it's that sci-fi dream, but starting with a really profound, practical, almost urgent need, and that kind of funding, $650 million. It just shows the massive bet being placed on this.
Absolutely. It's a huge swing, a real moonshot, and investors are clearly all in.
Okay, so moving down the list, but still way up there in the hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Impulse Space.
Ah, yes. Impulse Space. They're doing really interesting stuff. They raised $300 million in a Series C. That was announced between June 3rd and 5th. And their focus, AI-driven mobility in space.
Okay, so like we talk about self-driving cars all the time. Is this like self-driving spacecraft?
Pretty much. That's a good way to think about it. Or the source calls them space tugs. They build these vehicles designed to move things around after they're already in orbit or deep space, moving satellites, delivering cargo, that kind of complex stuff.
And the AI, what's its role in space tugging? Seems complicated.
Well, space is incredibly hard, right? Navigation needs to be precise. Docking with other objects moving at insane speeds, optimizing fuel for long trips. It's all super complex. Their AI handles that navigation, the tricky docking maneuvers, planning the most efficient routes. It's automating the really difficult parts of operating in space, making it easier and, importantly, cheaper.
Wow. So AI decoding brainwaves, AI driving vehicles in space. The sheer range just in the top two is kind of breathtaking already.
And we're only 2 companies in. It really shows the breadth. Next up, we see AI tackling something maybe a bit closer to home for a lot of folks, investing. Scalable Capital raised a very significant $175 million in their Series E, announced June 3rd.
Right. An AI-powered retail investing platform. So this is aimed at, like, everyday people wanting to invest, not the big Wall Street firms.
Exactly. Their platform uses AI essentially as a smart financial advisor for individual investors. It helps manage portfolios, just investments based on your goals and risk level, personalizes things. It's trying to make investing less intimidating.
Yeah, I guess the goal is just making it feel way less daunting or more accessible if you don't have deep financial knowledge or hours to research. Makes sense.
It totally does. And that funding level suggests they're getting real traction, making that AI guide smarter and reaching more people across Europe and potentially elsewhere.
Okay, now this next one. The funding amount at this stage, and it kind of made me do a double take. Shield Technology.
Oh, yeah. Shield Technology. This is wild. Over $100 million for a seed round.
A seed round.
Yeah. Announced June 5th, Thrive Holdings and ZBS Partners leading. That is just massive early-stage confidence.
What on earth are they doing that gets that kind of money right out of the gate?
They're building AI-enabled managed IT services. Think about the IT support team at work, the people who seem to magically know what's wrong when your system goes down. Shield is trying to bottle that using AI.
So instead of waiting for things to break and calling help desk, their AI tries to predict problems before they happen and fix them automatically, like digital IT wizards.
Kinda, yeah. Digital IT wizards or maybe proactive digital mechanics. The idea is moving from reactive support to proactive automated maintenance. Keeping systems running smoothly, maybe fixing stuff before anyone even knows there was an issue. That kind of uptime for businesses. It's clearly super valuable, hence the huge seed round.
Okay, sticking with businesses, Boltec also pulled in a big number, $147 million in a Series C on June 5th.
Right, Boltec. They're an Insurtech Insurance Plus technology. And what stands out, according to the source, is their Gen AI factory. They're working with AWS on this.
A Gen AI factory.
Oh,
That sounds very organized for insurance, almost industrial.
Well, that seems to be the point. They're using generative AI to build and deploy systems that can rapidly create more personalized insurance products and streamline the whole process, really, getting quotes, processing claims, customer service.
So the goal is pretty straightforward then. Use AI to make insurance less of a hassle for everybody.
Pretty much. Insurance can be incredibly clunky. This funding suggests investors see massive potential in using Gen AI to automate and personalize it all at scale. Better efficiency, better customer experience.
All right, let's swing back to the really cutting edge, maybe brain-bending stuff, inflation. $100 million, Series C, June 2nd. Their focus sounds intense.
Oh, absolutely. They're right at the intersection of quantum computing and AI, developing quantum-enhanced AI and something called contextual machine learning, or CML.
Okay, quantum-enhanced AI, like using quantum physics, weirdness, superposition, entanglement to make AI algorithms more powerful. How does that even work?
That's the fundamental idea, yeah. The hope is that quantum approaches can solve certain problems that are just intractable for today's best classical computers. Optimizing incredibly complex systems, maybe discovering new materials, code breaking.
So unlocking new types of computation, potentially building the next generation of super smart machines.
That seems to be the ambition. And the contextual machine learning part, my read is it suggests AI systems that are better at grasping the nuances, the surrounding info, the context of data, leading to more accurate insights, especially where simple pattern matching isn't enough. It's really pushing the boundaries. Deep tech, like you said.
Yeah, deep is right. Okay, let's pivot back to something impacting businesses more directly, though maybe less flashy than quantum physics. Symmetric raised $85 million in a Series B, led by Goldman Sachs, announced June 5th, and the source noted a new $30 million part of that round.
Symmetric is tackling a huge ongoing headache for almost any company handling lots of transactions. Financial reconciliation.
Financial reconciliation.
Yeah.
Okay, break that down simply. What's that mean?
Imagine a big company, millions of transactions, daily cards, transfers, different processors, currencies, refunds. Reconciliation is the super tedious job of matching all their internal records against bank statements and payment reports to ensure everything adds up. It's complex, slow, and really easy to make mistakes.
Oh, man, I can just picture the endless spreadsheets. So Symmetric's AI comes in and acts like it's a super accountant that never gets tired. Or maybe a robot army matching numbers.
That's pretty much it. Their AI automates matching those millions of transactions from all these different places. It flags problems that a human would have to hunt for manually, saves finance teams tons of time, cuts errors, and lets people focus on more strategic stuff.
That sounds incredibly valuable for any decent-sized business. Making finance less stressful is always good.
Absolutely. It's crucial back office stuff, and clearly big investors like Goldman see the huge need for AI to automate it.
Next, prepared. They're using AI for something really critical, emergency response. $80 million in a Series C, led by General Catalyst, announced sometime between May 30th and June 5th.
Prepared is focused on assistive AI for emergency responders. When 911 calls flood in, or during a major incident, information is coming from everywhere. Calls, texts, maybe sensors, video feeds.
Right. Total chaos. How does AI help there?
Their AI works to synthesize all that incoming data in real time. It processes the language from calls, analyzes data streams, and gives crucial insights and context to dispatchers and first responders instantly. It helps them build a clearer picture of a confusing situation way faster than humans could alone.
So it's like a vital sidekick, feeding them better, faster info to make critical decisions more effectively.
Exactly. It's genuinely life-saving tech if it improves response times or helps responders understand the situation better before they arrive. That funding is backing technology that can have a real impact on public safety.
Wow. Okay, shifting gears again, but still high impact.
Yeah.
Anthea raised $56 million in a Series C on June 3rd, using AI in biology and medicine.
Yes, they're working in AI-driven synthetic biology, specifically producing essential drug ingredients using basically reprogrammed microbes. The source used a neat analogy, calling it kind of like a high-tech brewery.
A high-tech brewery making medicine. Okay, tell me more about that. That sounds cool.
Well, they use AI to help redesign the internal workings, the biological pathways, inside microorganisms like yeast. The AI helps figure out how to make these tiny yeast cells act like efficient little factories.
Factories for what?
Factories that produce complex molecules needed for essential medicines, things that might otherwise be hard to make, expensive, or depend on unstable supply chains, like relying on specific plants.
So the impact is scaling up production of critical drugs,
Yeah.
making supply chains more stable.
Exactly. It's about making these vital pharmaceutical ingredients in a more controlled, potentially cheaper, and more reliable way. It could really help stabilize global drug supplies, which is huge for healthcare.
Okay, cybersecurity, always a hot topic. Zero Networks got $55 million in a Series B on June 3rd for their AI-driven platform.
Zero Networks is looking at cybersecurity from a slightly different angle. A lot of security is about building walls around the network, keeping threats out. But what if something does get inside? Their platform focuses on internal network security, specifically microsegmentation automated by AI.
Microsegmentation. So instead of one big open network inside a company, AI automatically carves it up into lots of tiny isolated zones, like smart automatic internal firewalls.
That's a really good way to put it. The AI learns normal traffic patterns, who needs to talk to what, and automatically creates these tiny barriers. If a threat gets into one zone, the AI stops it from easily spreading everywhere else, contains the breach, limits the damage. It's a key part of defense in depth.
Makes sense. You can't just rely on the outer wall.
Right. And having AI automate that segmentation makes it way more practical and less error-prone than trying to manage it all manually.
Speaking of the underlying tech, SpeedData raised $44 million in a Series B on June 3rd. They're focusing on AI analytics processing units, APUs.
Yeah, this is about the actual hardware AI runs on. SpeedData is jumping into the race to build specialized chips designed specifically for AI and data analytics, these APUs. They're aiming to compete with the established players, maybe even giants like NVIDIA.
So building the silicon muscle needed for all this AI computation.
Exactly. AI needs massive processing power, especially for training big models and running analysis at scale. This funding helps them speed up designing, making, and selling their specialized hardware. More competition and innovation in AI chips is definitely a good thing.
Moving over to global finance, NomiPay raised $40 million in a Series C on June 3rd for AI cross-border payment infrastructure.
This tackles the pain of sending money internationally. It can be slow, expensive, lots of intermediaries. NomaPay uses AI to streamline that whole process.
How does AI make international payments better exactly?
The AI looks at all the different possible payment routes, the correspondent banks involved, the network fees, all in real time. It finds the fastest, cheapest, most reliable path for money to get from country A to country B, basically untangles that complex web.
Which has got to be huge for businesses operating globally, right?
Right.
Getting bogged down by slow or costly payments is a real drag on international trade.
Totally. This investment should help them expand their network and make sending money internationally much smoother and more affordable for businesses and maybe even individuals.
Keeping data safe is always critical. Mind raised $30 million in a Series A on June 4th. Their platform is for AI-native data loss prevention.
What's interesting about Mind, backed by folks like Okta Ventures and Paladin Capital, is their approach to DLP, data loss prevention. Old-school DLP often uses rigid rules, like block files with these keywords.
But attackers and even accidental leaks get smarter than simple rules, don't they?
Exactly. Mind's platform is AI native. Instead of just rules, their AI learns what normal data usage looks like inside a company, how data typically moves, who accesses what. It builds a baseline of normal behavior.
Ah, okay. So it can spot something weird even if it doesn't break a specific rule, just because it's not normal for that company.
Precisely. It's more like a smart security guard who understands the context, not just a checklist minder. That should make it way better at catching subtle or new ways data might leak out.
That makes a lot of sense. Smarter defense needed for smarter threats. Okay, electric vehicles. Hypercraft raised $26 million in a Series A on June 4th. Stalwart Ventures led that. They're doing AI-optimized electric powertrains.
Yeah, this is about making EVs even better. The powertrain is basically everything that gets power from the battery to the wheels, motor, controllers, gears, etc. It's a complex system.
And how does AI optimize it? Is it designing better parts?
It's used in both the design and the real-time control. AI can simulate countless configurations to find the best designs for efficiency, power, keeping things cool. And then the AI in the car can actively manage the powertrain for optimal performance, moment to moment.
So that could mean, what, longer range,
Right.
better acceleration, maybe faster charging?
Exactly, things like that. Using AI in design and control to squeeze out every bit of performance and efficiency, making EVs better, accelerating that smarter electric future by fine-tuning the core tech.
Semaphore.ai got $25 million in a Series A extension on June 4th. Their focus is an enterprise AI agent platform.
Right, we hear a lot about AI agents, smart programs that do tasks. Semaphore.ai provides the platform layer so companies can actually build, manage, and use these agents across their business, automating workflows, analyzing data, connecting systems.
So it's not the agents themselves, but more like the factory for making and managing the agents inside a company.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. It's the toolkit and infrastructure for businesses to really put AI agents to practical use. The source mentioned they integrate with data platforms like Snowflake, which is crucial. Agents need data. This funding helps make their platform more powerful and easier for companies to adopt.
More security. Trustify raised $25 million in a Series A on June 4th, focused on AI email security.
Yeah, our email inboxes, they're still a major front line for cyber attacks, right? Phishing, malware. Justify is building an AI shield that aims to be smarter than traditional filters that just look for known threats.
How's AI better at filtering email?
Their AI analyzes the email content, the sender's behavior, even subtle things in the language that might signal a phishing attempt or a malicious link that a simple filter would miss. Plus, they integrate things like encryption and data loss prevention specifically for email.
So it's trying to keep up with the constantly evolving tricks cybercriminals use.
Absolutely. The threats get sneakier, email volume is huge. You need smarter defenses like AI to stay ahead in that ongoing battle. This investment helps them scale up.
Okay, switching to the legal world, famously document-heavy. Wordsmith AI raised $25 million in a Series A on June 3rd. Index Ventures, Scottish Enterprise were involved?
Yep, legal tech AI agents. Legal work involves so much reading, research, document analysis. Wordsmith AI's platform offers AI agents designed specifically to help lawyers with those kinds of tasks.
So just to be clear, this isn't AI replacing lawyers, right? It's more like giving them tools.
Definitely the latter. Think of them as AI legal assistants. They can rapidly sift through huge document sets, find relevant info, speed up legal research, even help draft standard documents.
Okay, so it frees up lawyers from the really time-consuming, maybe tedious parts, letting them focus on strategy, advice, court work.
Precisely. Doesn't replace legal judgment, but gives lawyers powerful tools to work faster and maybe more accurately through mountains of information. That funding will help get these AI assistants into more law firms.
Fabric raised just over $25 million, about $22 million in growth capital on June 4th. Their focus, industrial AI for the factory floor.
Fabric is putting AI right into manufacturing plants. They focus on analyzing data coming directly off the machines and production lines in real time.
Data from the machines. What for? What does the AI do with it?
It optimizes everything on the factory floor. Spots inefficiencies, identifies bottlenecks, predicts when a machine might fail so they can fix it before it breaks down, improves overall quality and output. Investors like OSS Ventures are specifically focused on factories, so this is hitting a real need.
So it's like giving the whole factory an IQ boost, making it run smarter, smoother, less prone to surprises.
Exactly. Taking all that raw machine data and turning it into actionable insights to make manufacturing much more efficient and cost-effective.
Almost there. Moments Lab raised $24 million in an unspecified series round on June 3rd. Ox and Orange Ventures were investors.
Moments Lab tackles a growing problem, finding stuff inside all the video content out there. They have an AI-powered video discovery platform.
Like if I need to find where someone mentioned a specific topic in a long meeting recording or a webinar, that kind of thing.
Exactly that. Their AI effectively watches and understands video content, identifies speakers, transcribes audio, recognizes objects, grasps concepts. It automatically tags everything, creates transcripts, builds a searchable index.
So you can search for words, topics, even people within huge video libraries, and jump right to the relevant spot.
Precisely. It makes video content, which is usually pretty opaque, much more searchable and useful, like text. This investment helps make their video search faster, smarter, and handle even more content.
And finally, rounding out our top 20 for this week, Obvio raised $22 million in a Series A, announced between June 4th and 5th, backed by big names like Bain Capital Ventures and Khosla Ventures.
Avio is applying AI to a super important area, traffic safety. Their platform uses AI to analyze traffic data and video feeds.
How does that improve safety? What's the AI actually looking for?
It's not just counting cars. The AI analyzes patterns to spot dangerous situations before accidents happen. It can identify near misses, predict high-risk intersections based on traffic flow issues, or even detect risky driving behaviors from camera feeds while maintaining privacy naturally.
Wow, so it's about preventing crashes, not just analyzing them afterwards.
Exactly. By flagging risks proactively, cities and traffic authorities can use obvious insights to maybe change signal timings, deploy resources more effectively, or redesign problem areas before people get hurt. It's critical safety tech, and that funding shows real confidence in its potential to save lives.
Wow. Okay, so we just went through the top 20 AI funding rounds from just 1 week, May 31st to June 6th, and the range, seriously, it's just staggering, from literally plugging into the brain with Neuralink to driving things in space with Impulse Space, managing personal finances with scalable capital, fixing IT automatically with Shield, helping first responders with Prepared, brewing medicines with Anthea, securing email with Trustify, optimizing factories with Fabric, even preventing car crashes with Obvio.
Yeah, it really hammers the point home, doesn't it? This wasn't just, a list of chatbot companies. It underscores the incredible breadth and the sheer speed of AI development and adoption. And the amount of money we saw just in that 1 week shows how much capital is backing these incredibly varied, sometimes really ambitious visions for AI's future.
It really makes you stop and think, like, okay, you've heard this incredible range, augmenting brains, automating space travel, managing money, running factories.
It's such a spectrum.
Totally.
Yeah.
So for you listening right now, what do you think is the single most impactful AI application we talked about today? Which one feels like it could really shift things, near or long term? And to maybe take it a step further, how might these different areas, brain tech, space tech, finance, industry, how could they connect or influence each other down the line in ways we haven't even thought of?
Yeah, that's a great question to ponder. Could insights from brain interfaces, say, help us build more intuitive controls for complex machines? Could better financial AI unlock funding for even wilder deep tech projects? The potential crossovers are fascinating.
Right. It's not just 20 separate stories. It's a snapshot of this rapidly evolving ecosystem. This week's funding isn't just about the cash. It's a real glimpse into where AI is going and just how fast that future is being built. Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into that mountain of AI cash from one pretty remarkable week.